This is VSiN, the sports betting network.
Follow the money.
That's what I always say. You always follow the money.
Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Paulie Howard on VSiN.
Here we go. Welcome in. It is Follow the Money on VSiN, the sports betting network. Mitch Moss along with Paulie Howard. We are live in downtown Vegas from the Circa Resort and Casino, and we have a 3-hour banger lined up for you today. Great guests on the program, including Pat Forde, Sports Illustrated in 45 minutes. He's going to rant about what they've done to March Madness. Longtime VSiN and Follow the Money viewer and listener, Rich in Canada, Rich McKay, on the program in the second hour. Loves betting the NHL, super high on the Canadians, and he loves doing cross-sport parlays as well. Jonathan Davis from here at VSiN, his take on the NHL. Kazarian in studio. NBA, WNBA, more bets that he likes. We'll hit the lottery, which is now suddenly on a Sunday afternoon this year, out of nowhere.
And it's huge.
Yes, it is. And the draft class is phenomenal. So looking back at what happened last night and then updated numbers, there is a bet to make, I believe, after the Lakers lost to the Thunder again. And I'll get to that coming up in a second. But that is now 6-0 straight up in ATS for OKC against the Lakers this year. Average margin of victory hovering around 25 points.
Vicious beat. Had the lead in the third quarter. Couldn't cover 15.5.
And by the way, SGA in serious foul trouble.
Yes.
Couldn't play the third quarter.
Yes.
Had to go to the bench.
That was refreshing and maybe a once-in-a-lifetime moment. SGA in foul trouble.
But it also speaks to how great this team is and how deep they are. Because, and look, I mean, I retweeted something from back in February after the Oklahoma City traded for McCain. And this was from NBC Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, Morey with the Sixers said that the quote, and I couldn't believe, I was like trying to like double check to make sure this was actually real. He said, I believe we're selling, the ceiling is super high right now. We're selling it sky high. That's why we're trading the kid. Are you serious?
A first-round pick? You think they could use him?
Who was on, he was like going to be the rookie of the year that year or potentially win that award until he got hurt.
Yeah. Comes in. He's like Vinnie Johnson. Instant offense. And he's 8 of 10 from 3, or 8 of 11 from 3 in the series. And 2 games in a row, he's cashed most threes in the game.
Sure.
And Caesars doesn't even list them.
Yeah, but here's my point about that is Oklahoma City is the one team in the league that actually saw that it was a possibility and made it happen. So were they the only team to pick up the phone? Like, could the Lakers ever make a shrewd move like that? Mm-hmm. Because what would he look like playing for Los Angeles right now? It's just another... the organization, you got to tip your cap, man, because every move they make seemingly is the right move.
Yep. Shame on Morey. Absolutely.
Yeah. So here's the bet, Paulie. Still available, and it's not going to be around long. I can tell you that right now. You talked about how you bet them to sweep the Lakers minus 105 after they won game 1. Always shop around because this is still listed at DraftKings as we speak. The price for an OKC sweep now is basically $1.45 or higher after winning last night. And if you were to do a standard like rollover parlay, let's assume for a second that Oklahoma City wins game 3 and the game 4 number is priced similarly to where the game is for game 3. A rollover parlay would be about $1.65, maybe a little bit higher than that. Right now at DraftKings, you can find that market. Will Oklahoma City go undefeated on the road in this series? It's still minus 105. It's the same exact thing as a sweep. That has to be a bet just based on the number. You're getting a minimum of 60 cents value as we speak right now.
Very good. Very good. And I was proud of the Lakers last night. They hung in there. They're missing their star player. J.J. Redick's doing a great job. You know, for them to fall apart was unexcusable. But this is just, it's the second straight series where a team has lost their mind because they cannot believe the whistle that this team gets. And I'm sick and tired of it. And
it's completely overblown.
I cannot believe the whistle that SGA gets. As Redick said, they're the best team. They have the best defense. Make them earn it. Don't help them out. It's hard enough beating these guys.
Sounded like an absolute crybaby last night after the game.
Oh, he was right. I mean, what LeBron said, LeBron did the right thing about not giving him bulletin board material, but he can go scorched earth anytime he wants as well. Redick did say LeBron doesn't get a good whistle compared to being a superstar. Like, number one, I think that's Curry, not LeBron. But to be hit in the head 4 times, and then you call the touch stuff, and then I've never seen it before. An entire team gathers around the officials at the end of the game, and then they just like aired the grievances. It was nuts. But you also can't lose your head and composure, which they did, and they let the officials get the best of them as well, much like the Suns did, and when Booker lost his mind too. So they're the best team, and this might be incredible what happens Sunday. They could get a number 1 pick or a top 4 pick, but it's unbelievable the whistle they get.
I don't even think it was that bad last night, to be honest.
Compared to other games, perhaps.
Of all games to complain about. And see, to me, what they were doing at the end of the game by huddling around the referees, and Austin Reeves was going off on the referee, that was setting up Game 3, is what it was. And that always happens. Coaches, players talk to the referees. They want a better whistle the next time they go out and play, because the NBA, I can rest assured, the NBA is not trying to rig this for a team from Oklahoma, especially when they're playing LeBron James and the Los Angeles Lakers. Like, that's not happening.
That's why it's strange, though. I can never think of a sport where the small market team gets calls. It's usually the big market. Like, if it's the Lakers forget it. You go back to the Kobe days. I mean, you blow on a guy, it's a foul. But for this to happen with a small market team, I've never heard of this before. That's the thing. That's why it's surprising.
But did it really have an impact on the game last night? Maybe covering the number.
Yeah.
Other than that, I mean, it was, again, the MVP of the league got hit with his 4th foul right away in the 3rd quarter, had to go to the bench. Lakers are up by 5, and Oklahoma City hit him with a tidal wave after that. That's how good they are.
Yeah.
And by the way, all the tweets were coming in after the game as well. The Lakers took 157 more free throws attempts than the next closest team this year. In the last 5 years, they've taken 938 more free throw attempts than the next closest team. 938.
Yeah, they're not used to this. No way, no how. No, I thought they would get the calls in this series. I thought they would trump OKC, but that hasn't been the case. To his credit, Redick did say it wasn't the reason we lost the game. You didn't like it, but here's what Redick said afterwards, and we're going to have a Seattle Seahawk thing here with the Legion of Doom, where it's hold every play, they're not going to call it.
Yeah, I mean, I sarcastically said the other day they were the most disruptive team without fouling. I mean, they have a few guys that foul on every possession, and all the good defenses do. SGA gets like I don't even know, a touch foul, I guess, on the drive. There was a stretch where 4 straight possessions, our guys got absolutely clobbered trying to make an entry pass to Jackson, and Jalen Williams is grabbing his jersey with both arms. That's a turn. They're hard enough to play. They're hard enough to play. You've got to be able to just call it if they foul, and they do foul.
Okay, that blew up overnight. Interesting. See if they get some calls in Game 3.
I'm sure they will right away in Game 3. Maybe Lakers first quarter or Lakers first half might be worth a play as a result. I would actually tell you that, to me, the biggest story again last night was not the referees in that game. It was James Harden yet again.
Yep.
Guy's an absolute disaster.
Yep. Can I rip your friend though too?
Who's my friend?
Mobley.
Oh, Jesus. Of course, yes. Please, thank you.
35 minutes, 1 rebound.
How does that happen?
Remember, 2 years ago, how about we trade him for Giannis straight up?
By the way,
I mean, this guy is killing him too. So at least Harden might have a hurt left hand, even though he's had some horrible playoff moments, and he's a big reason why they're down 0-2. But for Mobley, who makes a ton of money as well, to have 1 rebound in 35 minutes and give you 9 points is another awful performance. They have played 7 straight average or below average games, and Mitchell only averaging 22 a game during that stretch. They are also getting thoroughly dominated from 3, which I cannot believe. They went 0 of 11 in the 4th quarter from 3. They only hit 7 in the game, and Detroit was 50%. And Harden, you're right, did it again. But that 4th quarter, 0 of 1 assist, last 8 minutes.
Yep.
Incredible. You called it. You said, what do you do? I think they're up 2-0 if they don't make the trade. Because Garland was so good when he came back with the Clippers.
I have no idea how that would have played out, but this guy is clearly hurting them. Maybe they do get a huge bump if they never made that trade. 10 points in 36 minutes, 3 assists, 3 of 13 from the floor, or 0-4 from downtown, minus 15 in the plus-minus.
Very good. You want the big boy? When he was the primary defender, Detroit was 7 for 7.
Yeah.
That's a record since they did player tracking going back to 2013.
Nobody's ever...
That's never happened in else playoff game. Yeah.
Wow.
When he was the primary defender, 7 for 7. You think that's a big deal, too?
Can I say this? I would actually think the Cavaliers should probably start someone like Strus over him.
He was bad, too.
Yeah, I know, but Harden is crippling your team right now. The guy that you had to make the move for. And by the way, here's another one that's been sneaky under the radar. And we said during the Magic series, like Tobias Harris cannot be the second best player on your team if you want to, make a deep run. Well, tip my cap right now. That's now 7 straight games of 20-plus points out of him.
Mm-hmm.
He did not score 20 points in back-to-back games one time during the regular season.
Come on.
Where is this coming from?
He only had 2 20-point games going back to March 15th. No kidding. Where is this coming from?
He's top 5 in the playoffs this year in scoring.
Yep.
Tobias Harris.
Mm-hmm.
Good for him.
Yep. Robinson's been great, too.
Oh, he made some huge shots in that game last night.
But, I mean, that's the NBA. They're 14 of 28 from 3. You're 7 of 32.
Sure.
But you're still in the game with a chance to win. But as I said yesterday, it's the boardroom scene and margin call. This is it. Because I think everything's on the table if they blow this series and it doesn't look good for them. To be going out in spectacular fashion, you want to keep Mitchell around? You want to keep Harden around? Mobley? I mean, Atkinson's gone. We know that.
Sure.
Unmitigated disaster.
We'll spend plenty of time today talking NHL playoffs as well. What do you have here on Carolina?
A team has never started 8-0 in the playoffs since they went to the new format in 1987, but they're the 4th team to start 7-0 and allow less than 10 goals. The 94 Rangers won the cup, and the other team won the cup, and the other team that did it went to the Stanley Cup final. It's ridiculous.
That's insane. We'll get to tonight's action coming up. I'll tell you this. Huge tickets will cash if the Opta AI projections are correct about this one player.
Racetrack Television Network brings you every race, from every track, on every screen, every day. With monthly packages starting as low as $5, RTN gives you great value and access to more live HD streaming and race replays than anyone. Visit RTN.tv today to sign up and watch on almost any device, including Roku and Amazon Fire. Use promo code TRYRTN for a 5-day free trial.
This is VSiN, a network of sports betting analysts, writers, hosts, and handicappers, all here to help you become a more confident bettor. We broadcast live every day from Las Vegas, the sports betting capital of the world, and from studios across the country, giving you insight from every angle of the action. Take VSiN with you wherever you go with the VSiN Watch app, or catch us on streaming platforms and regional sports networks. You can also listen live on SiriusXM Channel 158 and on radio stations nationwide. Check out VSiN.com as well for betting tools, exclusive betting splits, AI-powered player prop projections from Opta, pro picks for every game, plus in-depth betting guides and articles built to give you an edge. From sharp betting analysis and daily best bets to insider interviews and expert breakdowns, VSiN is your trusted source for everything happening in the world of sports betting. See everything we have to offer at VSiN.com and become part of the Sports Betting Network.
Hey everybody, Dave Ross here from VSiN by the Books. Join me and my man Jensen Lewis on Monday. Going to discuss everything from a big weekend in sports, which includes NBA, Stanley Cup playoffs, recap of UFC 328, and the Truist Championship, and so much more. As always, going to be joined by a stacked guest list that includes best bets from Zachary Cohen and Will Hill, as well as NHL.com's Pete Jensen. It's VSiN by the Books, Monday, 7 to 10 a.m. Eastern on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
So here's what we know as of this minute in the NBA. In this Knicks-Sixers game, OG Anunoby is still officially listed as questionable. That is on the official NBA injury report that they release every 15 minutes. And Joel Embiid is also listed as questionable.
I'll take you to the hat twice if OG plays.
Do I have to wait in line for 2 hours?
No, we'll go when it slows down.
Okay, yeah.
You ever hear of a guy who plays after a hammy injury?
No, exactly right.
I mean, I think this is gamesmanship, and I think it's ridiculous that he's listed as questionable, not to mention his history, and the last thing you can do is you want to make this worse.
Yep. No kidding, especially when it's right there for you now this year. So there's an angle here where I think they could punt on the game. If he doesn't play, how confident are you that Embiid's going to be in there tonight? Because the betting market now has driven this number up to 76ers minus 2.5.
Yep. I hope the people grab the 2, knowing that OG wouldn't play or unlikely to play, even though you didn't know what the Embiid news, so now minus 2.5. But it's everything you want. I mean, we'll see how many Knicks fans show up, and there'll be plenty. But your season's on the line, the 0-2 angle, horrible performance down the stretch of Game 2, and the key player for the Knicks likely to be out who does it all, offense and defense, and he's been awesome. But the Knicks can still win. They got enough.
Of course they can.
And Bridges has turned it around, too. But the big thing is, what does it mean for Towns' props and Towns' assists if you don't have OG? A lot of people could be concerned about that as we've been riding this great wave as Towns cashed 7 straight overs.
So I played a really cheap 76ers money line price earlier today. I would say this. Paul, you can parlay the Sixers to win. Again, they could lose, but you could parlay the Sixers to win this game tonight along with Paul George to score only 15 points. We don't really do very many same-game parlays, but in this scenario tonight, to get a plus 126 number on that.
All right, you can throw in over 2.5 made threes, too.
No, you could, if you wanted to do, or do a combination of the 3 there then.
That 7 in a row as well.
Yeah.
Yep. So it's a significant loss if he's out. 21 a game, 62% in the playoffs, 54% from 3. McBride said he'll step up, but they've outscored their opponents 19.4 points per 100 possessions in the playoffs. How great they've been. And plus 52 points in the paint against Philly so far. So they still have the pieces. The big if is, can Towns stay on the court and not get into foul trouble? But I really think that the Sixers are going to win this game.
Yeah, so do I. Did not get cute. I did nothing with the first quarter or the first half, just the full game there. I would also say that if OG is going to be out of this game, you have to like Paul George even more. And again, the market has really driven his number up tonight. Most books have adjusted to 17.5 points now. When it, right after Game 2 the other night, opened up 15.5, juiced, then went to 16.5, and now sitting there at 17.5 at most spots. That's why I kind of like the whole angle of 76ers money line with him to score 15. That's it. Keep it simple. Plus 126 is still available out there on that. Edgecombe has also been awesome. Like when his numbers on off the court, saw some stuff today with him. Basically the net rating when he's on compared to when he's off, like plus 35 overall. That's in the playoffs altogether. So that includes the entire Boston series. Huge difference maker as a rookie, by the way. And so what is his whole deal tonight if OG is not going to be playing? Do they concentrate with him guarding Brunson, helping out with Brunson? What's he going to do defensively overall? I think the possible loss of OG here in this game just affects it from so many different angles. And I would not be surprised if Philadelphia actually wins the next 2.
That's right.
To make it 2-2.
Yeah, maybe we don't see OG till Game 5. In the league probably wants the Knicks to win, but also you're looking around like, what if the Knicks win tonight? That's 3-0.
Yeah.
The Thunder are going to sweep the Lakers. Cavs look awful. They're down 0-2. And then, if the Spurs put it on the Wolves tonight, then people are thinking that's going to be a 5-game series. It was supposed to be a great round of action. We might have some time off here.
Sure.
If this continues.
Well, what do you make of the market now bumping up the Spurs to 5 today?
I think it's too high.
Yeah, it's a big number.
I also want to trust Minnesota at home and also trust that the Spurs do not hit their team total in this game as well. But it's what Fox do we get? Fox was in attack mode, and he was awesome in Game 2 after a disappointing Game 1. 29-5 in fast break points in Game 2. I know Wemby with that money quote after Game 1, I misused my energy. But I just think we're getting carried away a little bit here. But I think this will be more of a rugged, low-scoring game, and we'll see if the Spurs can get it done. But I think Minnesota's worth a look at +5, and the Spurs team total under.
Yeah, here's what I can't get out of my head. I don't think this number would be 5 if you go back to Game 1, and that three-pointer for San Antonio goes into the buzzer, and they win that game by 1.
Mm-hmm.
There is absolutely no, in my opinion, there's no way, no how Game 2 plays out like it did. Because it felt to me like the Wolves were okay. Once they fell down big in the first half, they're like, okay, well, we're going to get out of here tied at 1 apiece. The complacency really set in. So if that shot goes in, I think we would have had a completely different result in Game 2, and I can't imagine this number would have been driven up to 5 like it is. So I just, it's way too many points in my opinion. I was on the Wolves in Game 2. That was clearly a loss, but I was also on them in Game 1. That one was a winner, and I'll tell you this right now, the Opta AI projections at VSiN.com, go check them out today. They absolutely love Ayo Dosunmu. So the 4 biggest edges on the entire board per their numbers, his points and assists, 14 plus, -103. They made that number -2215 and project 21 plus points and assists out of him. That's a 44.9% edge. They like the PRA, the points and the rebounds, and also 10 plus points, -123. They make 10 plus points, -3211. They're projecting almost 17 points out of him in this game and nearly a 42% edge. So if he clears all those marks, man, that's the highest edge I think I've ever seen on a player since we've teamed up with Opta AI.
Okay. Very good. What are you thinking on ice? Buffalo go up 2-0?
Well, here's one thing. You're just talking about this. If Montreal ties the series up tonight and we get a long one here, which I kind of expect overall, like a 6-7 game series, if Carolina wins the next game, they're going to have a week off.
Yep, and they will win tomorrow. $1.15 in regulation. It's just the Flyers can't score here. Mm-hmm. They're just too good. And Anderson stopped 18 of 19 shots, and his save percentage got worse. And Philadelphia has the worst power play I've ever seen, ever. They were dead last in the regular season. Mm-hmm. Then they're like, 1 for 18, whatever it is, on the series. It's a tie game late in the second period. They're on the power play. They give up a shorthanded goal right away. They're still on the power play. Carolina has a breakout the other way, and they have to take a penalty so it doesn't result in a breakaway. I mean, it's just how bad can your power play be?
Sure.
So it's just this team's on a whole nother level now, too. And I ran down the numbers earlier. So if they're going to get goaltending like this and the power plays clicking and their kills so good and Philadelphia is a disaster on the power play, that's all she wrote. And I think they get the brooms out tomorrow, $1.15 to win in regulation. And I do like the Ducks tonight as well. It's just a completely different team in the playoffs. In the regular season, they were 23rd on the power play, and then they go 50% in the Edmonton series. They had the 27th ranked kill, and they were 29th in goals allowed. They have thoroughly outplayed Vegas in this series and should be up 2-0. And again, Vegas was lucky to be here with how they were outplayed in the Utah series. So I think Anaheim wins this game and they win the series. And it's a big game tonight for Buffalo. And Lyon's doing an excellent job since they made the change and how good he's been in net. But if they go up 2-0, that's a tall task for Montreal.
Oh, it certainly is.
And I love that Buffalo finally got the power play going in the last game with 2 of them.
I would say Circa, for legal sports books anyway across the country, they have the best number the way it looks right now in Montreal at +119. Some of the exchanges out there, unavailable here in Nevada, but most of you have that across the country. You can find a little bit better than that. I'm $1.19, $1.20. I like Montreal at that price. And the other one would be same thing. With the exchanges, you can find even money or even plus a couple of pennies on Anaheim. That's 10 cents better than what you can find at most national sports books. I would absolutely take Anaheim and around even money in this game tonight. Again, there's a difference, though. You got to shop around and have access to some of those exchanges. And now, by the way, how about this layoff for the Colorado-Minnesota series?
Yeah, bizarre.
There's another...
They'll play till tomorrow.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. There's another hockey league playing in the arena in which the Wild use, is my understanding.
What league is that?
PWL or something like that.
Okay, yeah.
Do I have that right? I heard that. I was what's going on here?
Yeah, okay. So, and that's Saturday night. So that is a mini layoff. in the middle of a series.
Yeah.
That is bizarre. Smarter bets start here and last all year long with VSiN Pro. Get our annual subscription, normally $240 for just $199. And when you sign up, you get 2 extra months for free. 14 months, VSiN Pro, less than 50 cents a day. Code PRO, every best bet, every host, every guest. The betting splits, the AI-powered prop tools, the Mackinnon trends, full show replays as well. VSiN.com/subscribe. Code PRO, VSiN.com/subscribe.
Paul's going to recap a lot of the bets that came in last night with win some, lose some, and the NBA draft lottery is held on Sunday. This is from one NBA pundit. Quote, I think that A.J. DeBansa, if this team wins the lottery, I think he will pull an Eli Manning. We'll discuss that coming up next.
The guarantee? I hear it's massive.
They wouldn't do this unless it was something big.
There is no way it's that high.
I think it's even bigger.
It's huge. What? It's huge. Oh!
I'm down here at Circa, and I heard it's going to be gigantic.
It's the biggest contest we've ever seen.
Seriously, what's the guarantee?
All right, guys. You're going to have to wait and see. The biggest pro football contests in the world are back. Visit circasports.com for more information.
Elevate your sports betting game with VSiN's exclusive betting splits. Stay ahead with real-time market trends and track bet percentages on any matchup. Then uncover the edge by comparing them to the amount of bets placed to find out where the sharp money is headed. Upgrade to VSiN Pro to access betting splits, live odds, line moves, power ratings, and in-depth game analysis. Go to VSiN.com/pro to join VSiN, the sports betting network.
This is VSiN, the sports betting network.
Win Some, Lose Some is sponsored by the Sharp Plays.
Were you a winner last night?
Wow, winning.
Or was it a rough one?
Well, they can't all be winners, can they?
Loser! You're a loser! Paulie Howard recaps the night in sports betting in Win Some, Lose Some.
Thought they could pull this off. They did in the first half. Laker first half money line plus 450. Most points in the game, Reeves plus 750. Assists, dead heat, Reeves 7-1, Mitchell 12-1. Most threes, Hachimura again, plus 450. And McCain, not listed. Does it again, both games. Morey.
Kid is all, dude, that's one guy that I'm surprised when he misses.
Yeah. Yep. NHL Carolina 7-0 in the playoffs. Fourth team ever to start 7-0 and allow fewer than 10 goals. 94 Rangers won the Cup. 69 Blues went to the Cup. 59 Red Wings won the Cup. And again, the crazy stat on Anderson. He saved 18 of 19. His save percentage went down. A team has never started 8-0 in the playoffs since the new format in 1987. Cubs 15 in a row at home. Rays 12-1 last 13. Cardinals plus 140. Subscribe, be part of the team, VSiN.com. Our radio and podcast friends, you always want to see these tweets and videos. At Paulie Does Vegas on Instagram. Send them in, we'll put you on. There's a background story to this, but they decided with the German Shepherd, hey, let's put it in the backyard with a bunch of Doberman puppies. And then he's just, maybe they think that's dad. I don't know, or mom, where he can't get away from them, where they're all attacking him. Here they come. About 10 of them jumping on him here and can't get away. That's fantastic, what that could be. And you got, you can't escape this.
Now, who would win in a real fight here?
Grown?
No, the 10 puppies.
Okay.
Or the adult. Could the puppies actually take down the adult, or would the adult just be like, I'm biting every head off and throwing him aside?
Yeah, strength in numbers, I guess. Yeah, that's tough. I would think the German Shepherd has enough. They can be mean.
Yes, they can be.
They're smart, though, too.
Yeah, they are.
Love them. Okay, lose some. Cavs 4.5 down to 2.5. Other bad loss. Harden. Alarming. Fourth time in the last 9 playoff games, more turnovers than made field goals. Oh, mama. Thanks to the viewer who sent this in at ftm@vsin.com. Putting this lady on Front Street. Let's go to Borgata. Take a look here. Playing the slots. Yeah, feel comfortable. Get loose, huh? Have a cocktail. Take your socks off. Take everything off, right? Put them up. 213. Got it? Anyone? Okay, here it is. Look at this. I think she's playing dancing drums. And then pulls this chair up next to her and barefoot just then puts her feet up on the other chair. It's just, come on. We're living in a society. How could you do that? I mean, it's like the scene in Casino. You took your boots off and put your feet up on the table? You told my friend to go bleep himself? Look at this. Okay.
People are the absolute worst.
Yeah. And the Lakers a bad beat. They led in the middle of the third quarter, catching 15.5. Couldn't get it done. Sports calendar never stops. Sharp Plays covers it all. They've been winning for 15 straight years. All of it documented and posted publicly, sharpplays.com. When they move, the books take notice. Advanced AI, trusted insider intel, gathering info from over 500 sources and bettors worldwide across all sports and sending it right out to the subscribers in real time. Respected, watched, feared. Start winning with them, sharpplays.com, and the Mr. Poison daily tweets as well. Sharpplays.com.
Lottery set for Sunday this weekend. By the way, prediction markets, you can also bet on which team's going to get it. Remember in years past when sports books would offer this, but they would not offer the fair numbers? There is a prediction market right now where you can find who's going to win the lottery. It's the exact price at which they are actually aligned with the ping pong balls. So, for example, Brooklyn, Indiana, and Washington are all 14%. Well, that's the chances that they can actually win this thing with the ping pong balls coming up on Sunday. Maybe there's something to this, though, and worth a bet. I know that you're going to expand on this with Darren Peterson and the creatine angle here. That's why he was cramping the entire season. You can find right now AJ DeBanza to go number 2 at 17%. So that is a pretty hefty return on DeBanza to slide now from number 1 to number 2. And I'm very confident in telling you that if Darren Peterson does go number 1, the team that would pass on Dabansa at number 2 needs to get relegated.
Mm-hmm.
Dabansa would have to be a lock to go number 2 under that scenario. I don't know if this story is going to make teams kind of change their opinion on Peterson, maybe consider him number 1 overall. But if it is enough, Dabansa would have to go number 2, and I can't imagine a path where that would not take place.
The Peterson story, yes, where my cramping was a result of creatine. And then one time he said, call 911. I kept cramping my whole body, and they couldn't find a vein to give me an IV. Wild story.
Right.
I didn't even think creatine was a thing anymore.
Yeah, remember when that was so big? It feels like it was, back in the late 90s?
I was in college when that was big.
Yeah, early 2000s, something like that?
Yeah.
Huh?
Okay. So he's trying to get his side of the story out there as well. And good timing with both. Now, the shenanigans that can occur Sunday. If this happens, I think they would then, say, blow up the lottery, and they would force changes. OKC has a 1.5% chance to get the number 1 pick and a 7% chance that it comes top 4 in a loaded draft. Oh, boy. And the other thing here, where the next 2 years it's a bad draft and why 9 teams were tanking for 3 months, this is an all-time draft with the potential. What's the lowest you're seeing ACUF in some of these mocks?
5th.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
The Atlanta Hawks, who had a very good season, one of the worst trades in NBA history. The Pelicans traded their number 1 this year to move up 10 spots to take Queen. And the Hawks have a 90% chance that pick is top 8 and a 40% chance it's top 4. That is scary stuff as well.
The Hawks will absolutely vault to the very top or near the very top if they get top 4 next year, because that's going to be a gem of a player, and that's going to obviously make that team much better the second that their name would be called. And I would think that they're going to be one of the favorites to actually come out of the East next year. They would have to be.
Mm-hmm.
If they get top 4 and somehow they would get like oh my God, if they got ACUF, but like an ACUF or a Boozer type, or maybe even Caleb Wilson from North Carolina, instantly Atlanta is just like awesome.
Well, how about everyone forgot about the Pacers? They take the Thunder to 7 games. Halliburton out for the year. He's coming back. But in that trade, when you got Zubac, they have a 52% chance of a top 4 pick, 48% chance it falls to 5 or 6. Then it goes to the Clippers.
Yeah.
And it would be huge for LA if that would happen and they drop. But then the Clippers, at their own pick, which is number 12, that's the one that goes to OKC, which I just mentioned. And OKC has a 1.5% chance of getting the number 1.
Well, can you imagine if Oklahoma City, the same result happens that did to Dallas last year?
I hope it happens, because I think then they would say, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
Let's just scrap this whole thing. It's not a problem in the NFL.
Yep.
Let's just scrap the whole thing. And this is, what are we doing?
They would have to do something.
No kidding.
Like it'd be like a day later. Guys, there's no more lottery. Like, seriously. But what if Dallas wins it again?
What if Golden State gets it?
Yeah,
that'd be horrible.
I almost want to make like a couple of emotional hedge bets on this, and that would be to bet all 3 of those teams. If Dallas, I would personally want to break something if Dallas wins it again, because there's, already,
or even top 3.
Oh, sure, yeah. You can't get rewarded like this.
No.
Like they did last year after that ridiculous trade.
That's a rule I want to see in place. You can't pick top 4 2 years in a row. 1.8% chance of winning it last year. They got it. But the Spurs were 6.5% to get the 2 seed. They got it.
Mm-hmm.
So here, Golden State is 9% to get top 4. The Miami Heat are 4%. That'd be big.
That'd be huge.
Then they would trade it, I believe, and try to get a Giannis or another superstar.
Yeah. Now, here's also maybe a fly in the ointment. What happens if Sacramento wins the number 1 overall pick, if they get the lottery? Remember all that talk during the college basketball season that they're absolutely head over heels with Darius Acuff? Don't put it past that organization to actually throw everybody for a loop here and take him. But here's the big boy. It was Tom Habistro who I was talking about. Been on the show many times. I'm a huge fan. I think he's dynamite with the NBA.
Yeah.
He said that if the Kings win the lottery and they want to take Dabansa, he thinks Dabansa is going to pull an Eli Manning. Then what?
I believe him.
So then do they trade the pick? Do they pivot and go somewhere else?
Didn't the kid for Utah do that, though, too? Wasn't there weird stuff with the Utah kid?
Bailey?
Yes.
I think there was a little bit of that.
Still, they ended up taking him. He says, don't take me. Well,
yeah.
So, but that changes things, yeah.
I mean, if he's adamant about it and basically tells them, look, you can take me all you want, I'm not playing. So I would recommend that you trade the number 1 pick or you take somebody else.
John Elway did it.
Mm-hmm. It's happened multiple times.
That's right.
Uh-huh.
I have no problem with it either. Everyone out there gets to pick where they want to work. Maybe he wants to pick where he wants to work.
Pat Forde on the program next. Can't wait to hear his rant about expanding March Madness. It's possible that sports bettors are the only people who like the tournament expanding to 76 teams.
VSiN's player prop projection tool is now available for the NBA. Get projections for points, assists, rebounds, and more powered by Opta AI. On VSiN.com/NBA props, we line up our projections against the latest DraftKings odds so you can quickly spot mismatches and find value before the market adjusts. The NBA player prop projections tool is available exclusively to VSiN Pro subscribers. Check it out now at VSiN.com/NBA props and join us on the Sports Betting Network.
Your favorite VSiN shows and personalities are now available to download as podcasts. Catch every hour of our live broadcast with VSiN Best Bets, or find your go-to show and download it directly. Get instant reactions to last night's games, sharp analysis on today's biggest matchups, and everything in between. Whether you're commuting, working out, or just catching up, VSiN lets you take the action with you wherever and whenever you want. Search VSiN on your favorite podcast platform and get in on the action with VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Still in amazement what happened yesterday. March Madness, hey, we're going to go to 76 teams just like everybody's been asking for. Have yet to find one person on the planet that actually wanted this, Paulie. Yeah. You know what? Maybe the only faction of people who wants it, once it arrives, will be sports bettors. That's probably going to be about it. And to talk about this more now, we are joined on the Progressive Guest Line by Pat Forde, who covers college basketball, college sports at Sports Illustrated. And he's kind enough to take a couple of minutes out of his Friday and hop on the program. Hey, Pat, great column. Thanks for the time today. How are you?
Thank you. I'm great. Not very excited about 76 teams, but gives us something to talk about.
First of all, I'm going to steal this from you. I love the way that you use the word graffitied, apostrophe D, in the second paragraph. That is superb. But is there a comparison or an analogy to this, like something that nobody wants, but yet here you go, we're going to do it anyway?
New Coke, I guess, which was a colossal failure. Maybe when ESPN invented a phone. Do you remember when ESPN
Oh my
tried
God!
to sell phones?
Wow. Yes, good recall there.
That was a good one. It's like this great brainstorm. Nobody was asking for it. Nobody wants it, and nobody's going to enjoy it. You're probably right. The sports bettors who want a little more action on a Tuesday and a Wednesday, as if they're not going to get enough on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday of the first week of the tournament. Well, you got a little bit more, but this is clearly a solution to something that isn't broken. You're trying to fix something that is not broken.
Well said. And again, the article's fantastic. What I love in the article, this is a great point. The casual fan is going to be confused with how this bracket looks now, and then making my picks where you got so many 11 and 12 seeds involved.
Absolutely, Paulie. The bottom line to me is the draw for half the audience, or the massive audience that you have for the NCAA tournament, is how do I fill out my bracket, and how's my bracket doing? Mm-hmm. And they've just made it a lot harder, a lot more complicated, a lot more difficult to simply put on a computer screen or on a printed page all the information that you need, all the matchups that you need, and then you don't know who's going to play on Thursday and Friday in all the more games. It used to be it was 4 games that was the case, and 2 of them didn't really matter because it was 1 versus 16. Everybody's going to pick the ones. But now it's a whole bunch more games that nobody knows who's going to play. And guess what? Nobody's going to sit around waiting until Thursday morning to fill out their bracket. So you're just adding that much more guesswork, and you're just inviting people to say, you know what? It's a little too complicated. I'm sitting this one out.
Well said. Yep, absolutely. The other thing, once this came out, we hate it, we don't like it. And then it got worse because half the teams that are going to be playing are automatic qualifiers, 15 seeds as well. I hate that even more.
Sure. And guess they're all getting bumped down. A lot of the 14s are going to be 15s, and 15s are going to be 16s now to make room for those 8 at-large teams that are going to come in as 11s and 12s. And so we have, 36 12 seeds all of a sudden, and everybody's getting knocked down. And so if you are a dangerous 14 seed who's now all of a sudden a 15 seed who all of a sudden has to play on Tuesday and then turn around and play on Thursday, your chances of pulling the greatest upset in the history of your school have just been diminished. Mm-hmm. You can go back, take a look. McNeese a couple of years ago when they blew away Clemson to start the tournament, and they're like a 12 seed. They're not getting a 12 seed still in this setup, so they're getting bumped down 13, 14, and all of a sudden you're playing a number 3 seed that's better than than the 5 that you would have played. You're not pulling off that upset, which McNeese people say was the greatest athletic moment in their school history. It's not happening.
I'll give you another one too from this year. I mean, if Siena had a 6th player against Duke, I'd still tell you that they're going to win that game. They had Duke dead and buried. I don't even know if they're playing in that game.
Sure. No, and that's it. So Siena's a great example of that. They had 5 players. You're going to play on a Tuesday with 5 guys. You're going to max out to win, and then there's no way you're even scaring the number 1 seed 2 days later with a 5-man rotation. So they're making it harder and harder for the lowest seeded teams and easier for the highest seeded teams, and letting in a bunch of mediocre power conference schools who aren't even very happy with their seasons.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yes.
I want, well, so how many, and I know like some of the biggest names in college basketball who were against expansion. I know Calipari came out against it, but he actually did say we need to keep the little guy involved. And he said, look, I've been there. I was David and Goliath, and we won games as David. We lost games as Goliath. So the little guy has to have a seat at the table. Like, will they be included? Not in the 15. I'm talking like in the 11, 12 range. Do you think they're going to like throw them a bone?
I doubt it. I mean, you know what? I'm glad Cal said it, and I hope it's the case. But if you look at all of the metrics that they use, 6 or 7 of the 8 new teams are going to be power conference schools that generally were pretty lousy. And you may get a San Diego State in there. You may get a second or third team from the A-10, but mostly you're going to get the also-rans from the Power 5 conferences, including the Big East there. They would have to change their metrics and their way of doing things if they're going to suddenly see the light and let in more of the mid-majors. Either that or they're just going to perform some hocus-pocus in the room when they all get together, which if they do, fine. If they let in some of those teams, great. I'd be happier, but I really don't think that's going to be the case.
Everyone read the article. College sports industry with no restraint, no shame, and no appreciation for its consumers expanded the tournament to 76 with an eye on college football expansion. Are we going to 24?
Boy, it's danger zone, really danger zone. And as much as I hate 76 in basketball, I really hate 24 in football.
Right.
I think that would completely distort the whole season and the meaning of a really elite playoff. So, the tide seems to be turning of almost everybody against Greg Sankey. Sankey, believe it or not, is the guy holding out for 16, and everybody else is like, 24 isn't bad because then our third or fourth place team gets in, or if you're outside of the power conference structure, then, maybe there's a chance that a second group of 6 team gets in, or whatever the case may be. It's everybody just looking out for themselves and saying, how can we convince ourselves that our league or our team is better than it really is by getting a inflated playoff bid? That's what they're gunning for here. It's not to make the playoff better. It's to bring in more money for bad games for mediocre teams.
Yeah. All right. So if you really hate college football and you only kind of hate college basketball expanding, where does horse racing in the current state of that sport fall? Because of the Preakness Stakes, the Kentucky Derby winner is not going to be racing yet again this year and trying to go for the Triple Crown.
Yeah, I mean, they've got to change the race schedule, in my opinion. And there are plenty of people that disagree with me, plenty of people that say, no, it's up to the horses to be good enough. The horses just don't race that often anymore. They do not turn around in 2 weeks. I think Cherie DeVaux's doing the right thing with her horse. I think Golden Tempo, his average length between races was over 30 days. And all of a sudden you're going to say, no, we're going to turn around after the biggest race of your life, the longest race of your life, and we're bringing you back in 2 weeks after shipping you a couple thousand miles. So it is unrealistic for today's thoroughbreds to ask them to do that. The Triple Crown's a great thing, but it's not carved in stone. It can change. You can move back the Preakness to Memorial Weekend or the first Saturday in June, keep the Derby where it is, first Saturday in May, and then move back the Belmont to first Saturday in July or 4th of July. And then you've got about a month between the 3 races, and it would work out, I think, very well. People say it would cheapen the crown. I think it might make it harder because you get more rested horses that are running in all 3 legs. The best horses are going to try to make the Derby, and if they're rested enough to then a bunch of them make the Preakness and make the Belmont, then you got 3 bang-up races.
Adapt or die. I love that line, too. Top notch, my friend. Great to talk to you.
Yeah. Thank you. My pleasure, guys. Have a good one.
Thanks, Pat. There you go. Pat Forde. Read him. Sports Illustrated. He's on X at by Pat Forde. And he's great. Always has been. And his latest column, the one that we just discussed at Sports Illustrated, is spectacular.
Super conferences. That's what did it.
There you go. Had to have them, didn't we?
Super conferences did this.
But the point that cannot get lost is the one that you brought up to him. The casual fans are going to be...
forget it.
They're going to be completely... It's going to be a different language to them.
Look at this thing. Look at this.
Huh?
Look at all the stuff on the top now with the bracket.
What do you do with that?
And he's right. No one's going to wait till Thursday to fill their bracket out.
Oh, God, no.
You got all these games going on. You don't know who the 11 and the 12s are. I mean, that Dan Wetzel's right. Those are when you get most of your upsets.
Yes.
And now I got to play another game? And I'm coming in with travel? And then the guy filling out the bracket doesn't even know who the fives are playing. But I agree with him. As bad as this is, 24 in college football
is worse.
Is worse.
Yeah. All right, this is Follow the Money on VSiN, the sports betting